Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today. Yes, and we are here with Born to Stand Out. So this one is called Burnt Roses. I know, and a cat was in my face. I mean, come on, I love them so much. They're always in my face. Love those kitties. So this one is Burnt Roses from Born to Stand Out. And this one is still available. I have some that are no longer available. I'm not sure if I'm going to review those just because they're gone. If you're interested in that, please let me know. But this one is $185 for 50 milliliters, which is interesting because normally they're $210. So I don't know if this is just a Ministry of Scent type thing. But Burnt Roses by Korean niche fragrance house Born to Stand Out is a modern, sexy, smooth rose scent composed of 4 different roses over a warm bed of incense and woods. Now this sounds lovely to me. I am one of the people out there who loves rose scents and pushes for them. I know a lot of people consider them old-fashioned. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. I like them, but you know, I know some people see it that way. I'm excited. I've been excited about roses since I was 5. So there you go. So the notes are aldehyde, black pepper, salt, ozone, Bulgarian rose, lavender, oak moss, cinnamon, cachalox, I don't know that one as well, ambergris, cashmeran, sandalwood, Indonesian patchouli, olibanum, and incense. So this one's interesting. I thought it was just going to be roses. Like simply just here's some roses for you. No, this is actually a lot of notes for Born to Stand Out. I like the ozone aspect of it because one of my favorites is Hazy Blue from Aloria, and I love that ozone aspect, so that just excites me. But I just see one type of rose, and that's the Bulgarian. Interesting. The aldehydes, I dig that. The salt, interesting. There's a lot of interesting things. The cinnamon, all this kind of excites me a little bit because when I saw this I was just like, oh, it's just gonna be roses. But it looks like it's more. So let's do it. So I took it from the small vial with the dabber and I moved it into one of these because Lucky Scent finally joined us. But before I got these, that was in the small dabbers. I don't do those. So let's see this. Move my hair. Let's put it here first. Come on, you. 1, 2. Oop. 1, 2. We do 2 on each. Ooh. So immediately I get those aldehydes and ozone, like Hazy Blue, addicted. It's the uplifting kind of ozone aspect, just, and I love that. I love that. Hazy Blue. I will warn you though, at least for me, if I wear them too many days in a row, the ozone and aldehydes, well, aldehydes is different than ozone, but the ozone, what happens is that I become nose blind to them. So I know it's very strange, but what I'm loving about this is I'm getting that ozone. I'm getting that feeling of floating in the air, you know, with cinnamon. So I'm getting this beautiful like punch of cinnamon with the ozone. Interesting. I'm not really getting the roses yet. Huh. I'm getting the cinnamon. I am getting a little bit of that oak moss already, which I love. So it's kind of grounding with that cinnamon. It's grounded and warm, but that ozone is making it light and heady. So it's this contradiction, which I'm absolutely loving with it. Okay, the rose is definitely coming up more, but it's not like, I thought this would be more of a rose scent. I thought it would be like rose. It's really not, actually. That's not really the star, which is just curious to me. Yeah, I'm almost getting kind of a musky scent, but that's just the way my body works. But there's definitely roses, and but you wouldn't necessarily pull it as the main thing with cinnamon, ozone, oak moss, and ambergris. The amber is kind of coming through, which is interesting. This is really not what I expected from this at all. But let's try it on the shirt. Oh wow, the cinnamon and oak moss really come through on the shirt. I'm not getting rose at all along with the ozone. It's like, boom. I'm not even getting that pepper. No, I am getting that pepper. It's funny, you have to look for it. And sometimes with pepper, it's a strong note, but I'm like, I forget about it and I gotta look for it. It's definitely there. I love the uniqueness of this in that, like I said, it's very woo because the ozone, but then it's grounded because that pepper, that cinnamon, you know, those heavier notes, the oak moss, which is nice, like middling kind of nice note. It just kind of grounds it. I don't know. This is like a 3-tier cake almost, which I'm really enjoying. And you don't really know what note is what. The ozone's the main player, but there's just so much going on. It's kind of confusing, but not in a bad way. Sometimes scents will make it like, whoa, this is too much. That's not this. It's not confusing, but it's a lot. And you're like, oh, I'm smelling this, I'm smelling this, I'm smelling this. Wait a minute, but it's very confusing like that, but in a good way. It's kind of exciting and making your brain happy because it's like, what is this? Oh, wait, you know, maybe that's just me. It's kind of like I have ADHD. It's kind of like living in my brain a little bit. There you go. But let's try it on here. It's very light on here. I mean, this isn't a heavier scent for Born to Stand Out. Born to Stand Out normally are pretty like, ooh, strong scents. This one stays here immediately. Even though it has some heavier notes, it's not something that overtakes the whole room. This is actually quite alluring because of that. I feel like this is kind of one of those scents that would be really kind of, I hate to say it, I don't like saying that, especially because Born to Stand Out is big into this, but it is a little bit sexy. It kind of is. Yeah, I kind of like that. This would be like a good like date night kind of perfume, or, you know, somebody's leaning in close to you. This one, ooh, it is a little bit seductive. But really hard to smell here, but the rose comes through more. The rose, a little bit of that ambergris for me. The oak moss, the, ooh. God, it's beautiful. That ozone. The ozone doesn't come out as much on here. Maybe the note's more on me, which is great, because finally a note I like that comes out on me. Give me that ozone. It's definitely here, but I feel like it's a little bit more grounded here. That is lovely. I'm kind of loving this one. I do. It's kind of like, hey. Hey, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in an hour and we will see where Burnt Roses is going, because it's just boing, 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 boing. And I find it interesting and intriguing, and I want to know more about this scent. Okay, so it has been an hour and I can definitely still smell this one. I will say that it's very light. It's very, very light, and when you're just moving around, you're slowly going to get the rose finally coming through for me. I don't know how it is when you're really putting your, you know, because I haven't done that, but I definitely do get this sense of a rose around me, but with a lot more going on. So with that being said, let's try it here on the rest. It's very interesting. The ozone is burnt off a little bit. It's still there, but it's not as strong. I'm definitely getting more of a cinnamon scent to it, and an animal scent to it, like a musky scent. Yeah, I definitely am. Like a dusty cinnamon scent. It actually kind of reminds me of, to a degree, it's not like at all exactly like or even close to, but it's very reminiscent to me of moth from Zoologist. It has a little bit of that dusty quality of going into an attic and smelling something up there, like old roses that you crumple, but they meant something to the person at some time. You know, there's something to it. And that's what I'm kind of getting. But I'm definitely getting a soapiness, a little bit of rose, but not like rose. With an animal, animal scent and a dustiness to it. It does kind of remind me of moth in that way. You know, this was one of those ones, and I find with Born to Stand Out, some of them I'm like, wow, at first, and then some of them will morph enough that I'm like, This is very different than what it started out as, and this one's kind of going towards that. But let's see what it smells like on the shirt. Okay, on the shirt, it's not as much of that animal scent. Again, that's my chemistry. It always will be. But it's more of like a cinnamon rose, if that makes sense, with a little bit of amber in it. It's very, very unique. It's very different. It's not bouncing around as much as it was when I first sprayed it on. It's a little bit more subdued. That's what it is. It's the incense. It's the incense. Interesting. I didn't get it as much when I first sprayed it, or maybe it was there and I just wasn't getting it. That's why it's reminding me of Zoologist. Zoologist has a love affair with incense, and this type of incense is very close to the type that I feel that zoologists use, and different companies, their incense smells different. Like if I'm using Clue Perfumery, which I know a lot of people don't know as well, they have something similar with incense and wine and cinnamon, which is kind of similar, though this doesn't have that wine. I get that cinnamon in it and the incense, but the thing is that this, that just smelled like a real incense from like a Gothic church. While this I don't get as much from that, but it definitely is like a rose, a spicy kind of rose-esque scent with, you know, the notes of pepper, but with cinnamon and incense. Yeah. And I am getting a little bit of that like ambergris in there too. This one's interesting, but with my chemistry, of course, it's that musk. More soapy here. Like a soapy rose. Yeah, it's like a soapy rose here, with a little bit of pepper and incense. But I always find that these blend everything together perfectly, where it's just like the ideal, but nobody can ever be the ideal. You know what I mean? So this is kind of, I understand why people use these, but I really think they're unfair with fragrances because everybody's chemistry is going to play a big part in it. And this isn't how most people's skin reacts. But it's like a soapy rose with a little bit of that cinnamon spiciness. But I feel like on the clothing and on me, it's more of that cinnamon incense coming through, and a little bit of soapiness. I think that this one was pretty magnificent at the start, where I was just like, wow. But it's kind of changed a little bit, where when those different notes are bouncing around, it was kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then now it's kind of like, do these fully all go together? It's not quite as cohesive as I thought it would be. So what we're going to do is, hi, I wish you could see this. She's a little loaf of bread right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in 4 hours, and we're going to talk about where Burnt Roses goes. Okay, it has been 5 hours. Now this one is really, really light. I can smell it a little bit, but really it didn't have the oomph as some of the other Born to Stand Out. So, you know, it, like I always say, that could be really good, or people are like, yeah, I don't want it too strong, or it could be really bad. Like, I want something stronger. So it just depends what you're looking for. For me, I don't mind it. I definitely still get it when I move around here and there, but it's very close to the body, and that's okay too. So for something that is called Burnt Roses, I will say I'm not getting too much of that rose. For me, it's more of like a hotel soap type fragrance, if that makes sense. That's what I get when I'm moving around. It's this hotel soap. And it's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful, clean thing. But it's not, when I see roses in a title, I want roses. And that didn't happen. But let's try it here on the wrist. You see, it smells like moth to me, except with more soap to it. It has that same, it's that musky smell that Zoologist smells like on me. And it's that powdery moth scent. It is not the same or a dupe of that scent. I'm just saying it's reminiscent of that. Yeah, it has like this soapy animal scent to it. This soapy, dull animal scent to it. Very strange. Yeah. With a little bit of cinnamon. So soapy with a little bit of animal, a dusty quality to it, and cinnamon. Yeah, a little bit strange. But let's try here on the shirt. It smells like soap or almost like shaving cream to me on the shirt with a little bit of cinnamon. Not as much of that musky scent, but again, that's my chemistry. I can't escape it. So there you go. But it's just really, really soapy. And again, it's like burnt roses. Where's the burnt? Where's the roses? You know. It smells really good here. It's just exceptionally light. It smells rosier here. It smells like soapy roses here. Soapy roses. Very interesting. It kind of all stays in the same area. It's just the musk coming through on me is a little bit Yeah, I'm thinking. so I don't know. This one went to ooh for me. I was really kind of excited about this when you initially watched the video, but over time it just kind of dissipated a bit because I feel like what made it unique eventually kind of made it a bit confusing. Again, burnt roses. Where's my roses at? Hey. So there aren't any. I'm not getting that. It's more of very expensive soap for your hotel room. You know, you staying at the Ritz, baby, and it smells good. So it's very much that. Chemistry be damned. That adds a note I don't like with the the musk. But that being said, I think it's fine. But it loses its identity a bit, and I feel like it didn't necessarily have its identity to begin with. If you're burnt roses, so that's just me. That's just me. I do feel for a soapy scent with a little bit of cinnamon. It's kind of expensive for that. You know what I mean? You could just soap up and smell good for the day, and I think you would achieve the same mark. So I had really high hopes for this one. I really loved what it initially smelled like, and there's so many notes to this that in the end, to just end up smelling like this, it's like, well, oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you can't win them all. This kind of is like Indecent Cherry for me of Born to Stand Out. They both went to the same soapy background. So those are two that I had high hopes for, and they both ended up smelling very soapy, almost in the same way. That's kind of interesting. It is. But let's talk about it. Let's break this one down. So if I were going to say what season this would be good for, I think because it is so light, I mean, you could wear it year round. I really think you could, but I think looking at it, it's a very light scent, so I don't think it's going to fare so well in late fall or winter. It's going to get lost in the cold and bundling up. This one's very light. I think it's going to do better in spring and summer because it is a little bit more of a light hand. So there you go. As far as more masculine, feminine, you wear what you want. But if you want me to break it down, and some of you do, I would say, burnt roses makes you think, oh, a little bit more feminine, but I don't. It's soapy. Everybody loves soap. Soap's great. So I really do think this is right in the middle. It really is. I mean, there's nothing in it that makes you go, it's too floral or gourmand. There's no gourmand to this, even with the cinnamon. I just think, yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's fine. It totally is fine. It's just not wow. And I'm looking for wow a little bit. So yeah, if I were going to give this one a score, it really started out intriguing. I liked what it was showing me, and then it just went in a direction I was like, wait. So it was a little bit of a disappointment. So because of that, I'd probably give this a 4 out of 10. Not because it's a bad scent. I think it was more of I was promised burnt roses. It was pretty cool at first with all the different notes. And then it just ended up falling a little bit short for me in the end, which made it a little bit flat. So I think realistically 5 would probably be better, but I think because I'm disappointed with the name and with where it went, I'm probably going to give this a 4. I'll even knock it up to a 5 if you like. I mean, but it's still, my opinion, holds strong for me. But you may really love this. Just know I'm one person. And you're another person and you may completely disagree with me, and that's okay. But yeah, so normally I would do a Korean drama, but I have to head out. I'm actually running late. I know. That's okay. The rest of the reviews all have a Korean drama suggestion. This one unfortunately won't because I have to go. But have a fabulous day, my friends, as always. And until next time. Bye.